incredible. With this thought in mind, Manipal Education launched this campaign, Get Inspired by Life. The Joy of Giving Week starts on the 2nd of October all the way up to the 8th of October. So why don't you gift someone an inspiration, because that lasts a lifetime. Since the inception of this campaign, the tweets have gone crazy. Also the other social networking sites. We have a reach of 11.4 million just on Twitter alone. Thank you for all this immense support. Where would our campaign be without you? And now for the most awaited moment. I have with me the legendary Indian footballer, Mr. Baichung Bhutia. Hi, sir.
Hello.
You have no idea how excited I am. I can feel your excitement too. He's here to tell us his thoughts on the campaign, the Manipal Education Campaign, Get Inspired by Life. Also share his experiences, answer your million tweet questions, and tell us who or what inspired him to be the legend that he is today. So, sir, you've been with us past few days, and you know what this campaign is all about. So tell us what you think about it.
I think it's a great campaign because I think a lot of people get inspired, and also a lot of people become somebody's inspirational figure. So I think it's something great to get inspired by, and I think also because a lot of youngsters these days I think needs figure and to reach their goal, to get stories of people whom they feel that they've achieved through that, and get inspired to become one of them. And I think that's something which in India I think we need real big lot of role models, which we do have, but I think still it's important, like country like us, just not sports, apart from sports, in real life as well. You'll get people, you'll get friends and family and somebody else around yourself who've been very inspirational as well.
So you've interacted with all the Manipal students at these various institutions.
Yes.
What do you feel? What was your interaction like?
Great it was, because it was nice to meet a lot of students, and in fact I was quite surprised to see a lot of students actually were parents themselves. So good thing about Manipal Global Education is about a lot of professionals doing their studies, and doing their MBA, just being IT in IT industry or anywhere, they can still come and do their further studies. So it was nice to see a lot of students who are actually professionals and actually parents, and that come with kids to meet up with me in their centers yesterday.
Okay, so I'm going to take you back to where it all began. So tell us, how did football start off for you?
The place where I come from, Sikkim, football is big, and from the time I was born until today, I think football is still the #1 sport. And any villages you go, any town, any city you go, it's only football that's been played, and that makes a major impact to a kid who's growing up in that area, because then you start growing up with football. Just you see only football game being played around, so automatically that kid starts playing that, and it was something like that for me as well when I started growing up. But nowadays obviously you've got cable networks, you get a lot of other sports as well, but still I think Sikkim, 90% of the kids, whatever sport they take on, I think they always want to become a footballer. So that's how I think I started playing football.
And your playing football materialized by winning a scholarship at the age of 9. How did you manage that?
Again, it's important that for anybody to succeed, I feel when I look back at my life, I think you've got to have that right break at the right time. Obviously, apart from their hard work, dedication, and love for the sport, also you need that right kind of break as well. And that was what it happened with scholarship with me. The Sports Authority of India had just been formed during that time, and they had this national sports talent contest under 11 football tournament, all India level, and I got selected into as part of the Sikkim under 11 team, and that's how I went and played. We came to Delhi. That was my first ever trip outside Sikkim as a kid, and through that I got selected and got a scholarship. So that actually made me take up football more seriously, because I think my parents were very happy, because I was into boarding school. They were paying for my education, so now they were like getting scholarship, free education, and free football training into a good school in Tashinamgal Academy. So my parents also then, I think, were more relaxed of me taking sports, football as one of the important options, because I was getting scholarship because of football. So they didn't say that only studies. They were flexible. Okay, because of football I've got scholarship. So that's how I think scholarship. That's where my football career started.
Starting off a career at the age of 9. But your parents weren't too happy for too long, right? At 16, you had your board exams ahead of you, and you also had football, which was your passion, which you wanted to pursue. So, which sport did you choose in life? How?
No, as I said, they were very happy for me to go to a good school because the scholarship was into a very good school, and at the same time, they were happy that I'm playing football because of football I get scholarship. But I was still studying, and they felt that at least with playing football I can still do my studies and make a career out of being a doctor and engineer, which every parent does it in India. So it was difficult when I first got my call for under 16 national team, and I was appearing for my ICS exam. So that's the time I had to decide as a kid. So I chose to go and represent India under 16 and drop out 1 year, which obviously my parents were not too happy.
But I'm sure that didn't last too long. So, tell us about your stint with the East Bengal.
So the next year I gave my ICSE exams, and as soon as ICSE exams got over, I got an offer from East Bengal to come and play, and that was again another big decision that I had to make because it was about giving up entire studies and then taking a life to a professional footballer. So uh, again, it was difficult decision for parents to let me go out completely, and they were not too happy again. But me, I had decided that I wanted to become a footballer. But again, these are the decisions which you have to take. I feel as a kid, I took at that moment. I really loved the sport. I never thought anything else, but I just wanted to play. But when you look back right now, I think those are risk and gamble which as a kid I took it. And obviously there were a lot of fear in my mind during that time as well, because whether I'm going to succeed or not succeed was one major factor. So I think when you have fear, sometimes it makes you alert. And with that decision, whatever I made, 2 3 major decisions in my life was not with the fear as well, but it was a negative thing that I can't do it. It was with a lot of fear that what is going to happen, will I be able to do it? But it never came to a mind that I will not be able to make it or I can't do it. But there was a strong fear factor in which I think kept me alert and pushed me to even work harder.
But you don't have any regrets today, okay?
Definitely no, I don't have any regrets. I'm happy uh, that my life as a footballer turned out to be the way I wanted it to be. Uh, it's not easy, but I think I'm very happy with the decisions I've made, and I've been very lucky. In fact, apart from my hard work and all dedication, I think even I've had major breaks in the right time, and there are a lot of uh, big events happen in my career during the right phase of my life, and that those opportunities I could grab with my with my arms open. So I think those were big impact that really made me succeed as a player as well.
What kind of skill set changes did you have to make when you decided to take it up as a full-time profession?
What kind of skills?
Skill set changes.
I think first thing, if you want to now, when I decided that I want to go completely on being professional footballer, then I think you have to really focus just on your game, and you only waking up early in the morning, thinking what am I going to do today, how much can I push to improve myself, and when you go off to sleep, you're thinking of football and thinking what have I learned and how can I push and how can I become, and at the same time, because sports is it's just about how you perform, and every match, every day you've got to keep performing. So every time you want also is not to relax, because it's important that tomorrow training you've got to work hard, because you've got 30 odd other players working as hard as you. So there's a competition between your teammates to get into that 11 positions in on the field. So those kind of things also keep you alert. But changes are obviously you've got to be completely focused once you decide that you want to make a career out of football.
So it's every young footballer's dream to play for his country. You lived that dream. What was it like in 1992?
I think anybody would, any sport you play, and for me as well, when I started playing, football, the only dream was to play for India, and obviously when I made my debut in 1995 with the national team, and that was something which was one of the most special moments for me as well, and till then I played all the age group, you know, under 16, 93, 92 was where I made my debut as under 16. Then I made under 19 debut at the age of at 95, and then I went on to play under 21 also 94 in 94. So 95 when I made my debut for the senior team was something very very special.
So, can you share with us the highlights of the Nehru Cup tournament where you were named the 1996 Indian Player of the Year?
It's, it's, it's very difficult to really recollect 1996, 10, 12 years back. Uh, yeah, I think that Nehru Cup 96, I don't know where was it played, where, I would not know where. But yeah, first Nehru Cup I played was 95, obviously, that was in Calcutta, and that was my debut tournament, major tournament. And Nehru Cup was one of the biggest tournament during those days, and still it is international big international tournament. So I was just a young player, and I think for me as well, it was again, we had this coach Rustam Akromov who was from Uzbekistan, and I used to play in a different position when I started playing, and he changed me completely from what I was, midfield player to a striker. When he chose me for the national team. Till then, I was playing for the clubs, and also all the under 16, under 19. I was playing as an attacking midfielder. So Rustam Akramov completely changed me into, from a midfielder to striker, and giving me a debut for the international tournament and for India as a striker. So that was something that completely changed my life as well.
So that's where your nickname comes in from, Sikkimese Sniper?
I guess that's media, they keep giving a lot of nicknames, so yeah.
Is there any one nickname that you remember that the media has given you, which you're not too fond of?
No, I'm fond of all the nicknames, unless it's a really horrible one, but they call me also Tingitam Express, Sikkim Sniper, so I'm happy with it, whatever people want to.
So the Federation Cup semi-final, East Bengal versus Mohun Bagan. 3 goals in a row.
No, I think that was one of the most special match for me in my career because East Bengal and Mohun Bagan being a derby game in Calcutta, and that match was watched by, I think, I don't know if it's a world record, but at least an Asian record of 140,000 inside the stadium, and and to play in front of 140,000 inside the stadium with that kind of sound, noise, atmosphere is something with every footballer want to play, and then scoring a hat trick, which had never, there were never hat tricks scored between a big two teams in a derby against East Bengal Mohun. So first ever hat trick, and scoring that hat trick in front of 140,000 people makes it a very very special thing. So as I said, there are moments, some special moments, and those moments where I've grabbed it. I've grabbed it both my hands. So I think this is one of those moments where I think it really helped me from what I was to a very different. It took me a different level altogether.
Yeah, the different level was when you were in UK and you scored your first goal in the English League against Chesterfield. So in Bury Football Club in UK, how is it your very first international game?
I think it was very difficult, first of all, to go and settle down itself. And my time in UK, my time in England was when I joined the club. I think I did join when the season was on. I had completely missed out 5 months of football and pre-season football, completely training and all that, because I was waiting for my work permit to come in. So when you miss out of pre-season training, we've not done anything for 5 months, we've not played, then to go and join a team in end of October when the team is already fit, playing matches, I was just going and doing a catch-up thing. So it was quite difficult initially, but things started settling down, and I got my first goal, I think, during that season as well, towards the end when I started getting fit and catching up, caught up with the team, and I did get 1 or 2 start towards the end. So that's the time when I had a few goals during that time.
So tell me about the reaction of people once you get back from this international game that you've played and you scored a goal, and when you come back, people especially in Sikkim, your hometown, they must go berserk.
I think for me, people of Sikkim has been always there for during the difficult times and during good times as well. And I think they are the ones who really keeps you motivating. And though I lived in Calcutta, Sikkim was, in a year I used to go only for 4 to 5 days because you're just busy playing and traveling so much, and I hardly got time to go back and see my parents back in Sikkim. And because I was signed with a club in Calcutta, so I was living in Cal. But Sikkim was one place I always wanted to go during my season time or off season time, because once you go back, I think the kind of nature, culture, the weather, the people, it rejuvenates you and you come as fresh as a person, and then really comes with a lot of inspiration and really wanting to work hard and achieve. So that was something which Sikkim always gave me during my 20 years of football career when I was living in Calcutta. That break, whatever break it was, whenever I had to get refreshed and come back fresh, I was first thing I would do is go back to Sikkim.
So once you returned back to India, you joined Mohan Bagan before coming back to East Bengal. What was the reaction of the people?
Obviously, the fans in East Bengal were definitely not too happy because East Bengal is my club, and I started my football career and I've started my life with East Bengal. So and I was always part of East Bengal, and it's always difficult when you switch a club especially from East Bengal to another big club called Mohun Bagan. It's very, very difficult. The demands for the fans of the new club becomes very, very high, and especially if you've achieved so much with the previous club, which I had done with East Bengal. I had won a lot of trophies, I had scored plenty of goals. The fans demanded much more than that, so it becomes very difficult to really win the hearts of the fans who were really abusing you till yesterday, and then today you shift and wants to win their heart. It takes time. So unless you don't start performing, start scoring goals, then they don't accept you. So it didn't happen with me in Mohun Bagan. I was struggling with my injury. I was struggling to just play, forget scoring goals. So then I think fans were also not too happy during that.
And you keep proving yourself to them before they would support you wholeheartedly.
Yes, because I knew that once I get my injury and my things right, I would obviously start doing well. But it was difficult for fans to really understand first year that there were a lot of there were some injury that I was going through. So I think that made it very difficult for a lot of fans, at least for the first season when I played with Mohun Bagan, for the fans and the club officials to really accept me as part of Mohun Bagan.
So I'm going to take a break and give you some of the questions that the fans have been. The tweets have gone crazy, and let's see what they have to ask you. So, Online Sneh says, how was it entering Jhalak Dikhla Ja? Was it a difficult decision, and what did it take to make up your mind?
No, it wasn't a difficult decision. In fact, when the offer came, I spoke to the club and worked out on the dates, because the most important thing was the dates. And in fact, Jhalak did come to me. First was through Leander Pace, because Leander was offered that, and Leander couldn't work out his dates, and Leander called me up saying that, Baichung, can you do this? And I said, let me just see if I can work out my dates. And the dates were worked out. My manager Rajiv was working out the dates with the club. So once it worked out, then I said, okay, why not just give it a try? Because it was something which I wanted to do it as an experiment, because something different. So it wasn't so difficult to say that I wanted it.
But you were the only participant who was a non-dancer, and then to go on to win the entire championship.
No, I think it's great to win it. Anything you end up winning is something nice. And yeah, Jhalak was something, again, initially it was very difficult and challenging. But as a sports person, I think you have that advantage of you're picking up quickly in terms of movements. So I think that came to an advantage. Fitness came to an advantage for sports person. So yeah, from a non-dancer to go and win it is something. I think it was something which I didn't think I would win it. But I feel nice that I won it, because I think it at least tells the world that sports person can dance, and can dance well as well.
Especially you seem to be doing a lot of things with equal aplomb. So we have a question from Anup Shanbag. So do you have any regrets that you were born in India? You could have gone places in a football supporting country like England.
See, I don't really think that I regret being born. Yes, as a footballer, if you have been born abroad, maybe things would have been different. Obviously, I would have definitely with the kind of talent I had and with the system in England what they have, I would have become much more better player for sure because obviously here you don't get any support system to develop as a player. And in England, if you've got that talent, there's a system that really builds you and makes you a better player. So definitely say that if I was born abroad, I would have been a definitely a better player than what I am today. But in terms of being born abroad, I don't know because I'm very happy I was born in Sikkim, I was born in India because I've had a wonderful family and I've got great friends. So that way I don't regret. But as a footballer, maybe yes.
So while you were in Chalak, you kept reinventing yourself to be able to cope up with, the entire dance program. So who or what pushed you?
No, just the challenge, I think, to really do it. And again, a lot of things that for me, in fact, my life about doing things and in football as well, when you about to play a match, you should always there's always a fear factor that comes in, not over fear, but always that the fear should not turn into negative, but you should always, there's always a fear thing. I was all every time I finished one show in Jhalak, the next show I was always getting scared now. I have to do another dance, and I have to tell you what happens if I spoil it, what happens. So then I think that way you tend to also push it and get it right. So I think those things of getting a little bit scared of getting getting the dance completely wrong and whatever you train getting it wrong. So you keep pushing and working hard and get it right so that when you go to the dance floor, at least you are confident, not conf- too confident, but they're still okay that I know my steps.
So that's the next question. Simply love your juggling skills as well as your dance moves. How do you mix footwork in these two? By Madly Reshmi.
How do you mix it? I think you don't have to mix it. It comes natural. A lot of the lot of the dance steps, what you do for a sports person, I think it does become quite easy to pick it up. Though you might not know it, but once you train, it becomes easy because, especially with footballers, because your feet are very important, and you've got to move your foot fast. So I think it's not too difficult and it comes, I think, more naturally.
So the next question is from Kiran Sir, I love your hairstyle. Which footballer do you think has the coolest hairstyle apart from you?
I think footballers are all over the world are known to be fashion icons, and that's the fact. I think they are the ones they start all the fashion trend, and the biggest icon in fashion world today is David Beckham, and I think he's been one of the most stylish person in terms of dressing up or hairstyle. So I think we all follow him.
You also take inspiration from his look?
Yes.
Wow. So it's the season of biopics. There's recently we had Bhag Milka Bhag, and then we have Mary Com's biopic coming up. So if there was one to be made on your life, who would you choose to play your role
Who would I choose?
from the Bollywood fraternity?
I don't know. I don't know if anybody could do it. I think anybody who can really. I think Bhag Milka Singh, what Farhan Akhtar did was great. So I don't know. It's very difficult to say who can, but I don't think my story would be so interesting as Milka Singh because hearing what Bhag Milka Singh and I didn't get to watch the movie, but I don't think it's somewhere near to what Mary Com's story or Milka Singh's story.
Don't
But
underplay us.
I think United Sikkim Football Club would be a great story because it's a club. It's a story about a club that really struggled, how he struggled, and then how he made it big. Now he qualified for the I League in just 16 months. I think that's a great story. I feel.
But to play your role, is it very difficult a task to portray you on screen, or could anyone manage it?
No, I think Ranbir Kapoor could do well just because actually he plays good football as well, and we played together, and I've seen him play as well. So you need somebody who can play football, and I think because in a movie, all the movies you do on sports, a lot of times you feel that the action of sports are not really good, so that's why you don't really connect with the sport. So I think it's very important that acting, besides acting, what you do technically with the game and how you kick the ball, how you do it, that really makes a big impact. And unless an actor who's not played football and who can't kick a ball goes and do a movie on football, then I don't think any movie, however good actor, however good acting that actor does it, you can't, you might, if you don't know how to kick a ball properly, then the movie on football will never succeed. So I feel Ranbir Kapoor, because he plays football and he's a good footballer, so he might be the one to do good movies on football.
What about John Abraham?
I think John is also a great player. I've not seen him play as such, but we played a few friendly matches. But John, yes, I think his Dandanadam goal was a great movie, which we all footballers enjoyed it. So even I think even John as well is somebody who could do it.
So you spoke about being inspired by Beckham, right? In terms of his fashion sense. So I have a question from Anup Shanbag again, which says, "Sir, you're often referred to as the Beckham of India. How does it feel?"
I don't know in what terms, in terms of playing, in terms of style. Definitely not in terms of style. But in terms of playing, if I get compared with Beckham, I think I feel honored to have been compared, because I think he's one professional who's highly dedicated and highly sincere towards his game, and his commitment, being David Beckham, whatever lifestyle he's got outside, but when he comes on the ground, and you can see his commitment. Every tackle he goes 100%. Every ball he chases with 100%. So that commitment is what we all get inspired, and we all keep learning from Beckham.
So who would you say is your biggest idol in football?
It's very difficult. I don't have a biggest idol, but yes, I think if I have to say biggest idol would be Maradona, because that's the first time I've ever watched football live on television, and that was during '86 World Cup, and that was the time Maradona was in his peak. So I would say Maradona.
Okay, I have another question from Madly Reshmi. So what do you think is the biggest problem we as Indians face with respect to football?
I think the biggest problem we face is a good youth development program, uh, good infrastructures, and also I think kids and parents also not opening up to take football as a career, which I think now they should. And I think parents should encourage kids to become footballer, and and support 100% if they are good in football, so that they can become a footballer. So I think we need more kids to play the game first of all, which then out of that many kids playing, we can have talent coming out.
We had a question which said, "So what is your advice for our parents? Is it only about education related, or can we also shift focus?"
I think you've got to balance both. I would not say any kid to forget studies and just play any sport. So I think we've got to balance till certain age, and once you reach 10th standard, 11th, 12th standard, then you know where you stand in terms of football or cricket or any other sport, and that's the time you can decide if you're by 16, if you're playing for state level and you're playing for India, or you're going for the camps, then I think you can think of actually making a career out of being a footballer.
I have a question here. Is it true that you donated all the prize money from Jhalak Dikhla Ja? It was a great gesture.
The 50% of the money I gave it to my choreographer. The 50% which I had, then we gave it to different charity NGOs all across Calcutta, Darjeeling, Kalimpong, and Sikkim. So that's what. That's how the money went.
To so many charities? Is that what you
Not
do
so
often?
many, few of the charities.
But is that something you do on
Yes,
a...
we are very active. United Sikkim, I have a football club, United Sikkim Football Club. It's just not football club at the end of the day. It's also a club that also gives back to the society, which works with with the community and the society. And we do a lot of events. We raise funds. I personally go and play in villages in different parts of Sikkim to raise funds for academy. We also try and buy a lot of footballs and give it to different kids in different rural areas in Sikkim, motivate kids to come up and play, come up and play the sport. So, on the whole, yes, I think United Sikkim. We also collected funds during the earthquake relief fund, earthquake that happened in Sikkim. With that fund, whatever we raised, we made a nice five-a-side artificial turf uh, in the place where the earthquake was hit majorly in that district. So I think 2 months back we just finished the turf. Not 2 months back, but 5-6 months back we just laid it up and we inaugurated the turf as well. So we try and do as much as we can, and all that is got to do with sports, and we try and do that, through United Sikkim Football Club.
So I have a question from I Ankita Dhawan. What is the best way to stay fit?
The best way to stay fit is either getting out of the bed or a chair first of all, and then start walking or running, because that's the easiest way. For walking or running, you don't need friends, or you can have 100 friends with you, or you don't need any one of them. You don't need any, you know nice stadiums, or you don't need anything. You can walk or run anywhere. So I think the best way to stay fit is either to walk, or run.
Okay, another question from Sayan Helder. What was the reason for choosing football, as you've also represented your school at badminton, basketball, and athletics?
It's very easy. As I said, I got scholarship through football at the age of 9, 10, and anyway, I love the sport. And before I started playing badminton, basketball, or anything, football was something I played, and only badminton, basketball was something which I got to see only once I got into boarding school. But before, as a kid as well, I was just playing only football before that. So it wasn't very difficult. Football was something which I really loved. But it was important that I played other sports, because that really helped me grow as a footballer.
Just a small doubt. What if the scholarship was for a different sport?
I
Would it
still feel that I would have become a footballer.
Alright.
Because, yeah.
Okay, I have another question from Madly Reshmi. What do you love in Howard Roark that he is your favorite fictional hero?
No, in fact, this it's in the net that apparently that book is my favorite. But I just read this book as a teenager once, a long time back, and obviously I got fascinated because there were two kinds of character. One really dealt with the real world and his idea and his thought, and another was about somebody else's idea and trying to keep other people happy. So those two characters, what I felt was it was very confusing me as a kid. Because do I want to really do what I want to do? Because in football, do I want to do what I want to do on the ground, or do I do what coach wants me to do, and for the rest of the level? So it's something which in my game as well is, it confuses. But I just read it, I enjoyed it. But people say that that's my favorite. No, I've read a few other books as well. I'm not a big, I don't read so much. But yeah, that was the book. I enjoyed it, but it did confuse me a lot.
Okay, so we're setting the record straight. He's not your only favorite fictional character.
It's just that I read as a teenager once. Yeah.
Okay, so question by All Smiles. So, if you hadn't been a footballer, what would you have been?
I never got that opportunity to really think and get an option, because I started at the age of 9. I started becoming professional footballer at the age of 15, where 15 you decide whether you want to do arts, arts or science or commerce. That I didn't have that, so I was just playing football. I just got offered to be a professional footballer. So I don't know. Maybe I was fascinated by being a cop as a kid, a policeman, or an inspector or something in yeah, I think.
Why to round up all the
But
wrong
just that
words?
they look smart as a kid. You see some police guy or inspector or somebody DSP something. They look smart in the uniform, so maybe.
But I think you look coolest in your shorts and
Yeah,
jersey.
I guess.
Okay, I have another question by Sayan Haidar. When you're going through a bad time, who inspires you at that difficult time?
I don't think for me, most of the bad times in my career so far has always been when you lose a match, and only inspiration you get is, I think, lot is with your teammates also, but on the whole yourself, because with sport the greatest thing is that you lose today, there's a game next day, so you look forward to it. So if you can't keep crying and feeling bad about the match you just lost, you've got to look forward to your next match, and that's where we get a lot of opportunity to come back strong in the next game. So it's all about team game, and with the teammates. Um, so inspiration has been just the day we lose, we get back together with friends. We sit back and with our teammates, we sit back and try and analyze and not start blaming and fighting and saying because of you we lost. We try and see how we lost and how can we come back. And that's what to do if you have good teammates around, and how you can build yourself, be one of those positive teammates despite whatever fear, negative, you have that, but you've got to, when you are with the teammates, you've got to show that positiveness.
So they form your biggest support system.
Throughout my, because I've been all my education has been in the boarding school. I've been around with friends, and then when I started playing professional football, I've just been only with friends. So my entire life is not much with my parents and family, but only with friends circles. So they've been a big inspiration.
So I have a question by Rumana Nazir Ali. Many people are asking you about football. I want to know one word that describes you.
Shy. Yes.
And here you are sitting with me.
Or maybe I'm not. I can't. It takes time for me to open up. So yeah.
So should I consider myself lucky that you opened up enough to
I
answer
guess
so many
no, I'm
questions?
okay with answering football thing, but when I have to go, and meet somebody, or if I have to go to a party, try and stay away, and or maybe there's a big gathering, I try and sneak away quietly to some corner and just be quietly.
Why the shyness?
No, it's just the nature, I think, So.
Okay, so despite being a celebrity, you're still shy
I
at
don't.
heart.
I'm very. I think what do you call it?
Introvert.
Introvert. Yeah.
Alright. Another question by I. Ankita Dhawan. So, being a footballer, why do you want your son to be a tennis player?
Again, this is something which when I was having an interview, somebody asked me about tennis, and then would you like your son to play tennis? I said yes, I would love my son to play tennis, and I would be happy if he becomes a professional tennis player. It doesn't mean that I want my son to be tennis player. There was a question that would you be happy if he plays any other sport apart from football or a tennis? I said why not? I would want my son to be a tennis player. So it's not that I don't want him to be a footballer. That interview that happened, that the journalist asked me whether I would be happy if my son plays tennis. I said yes. So I would be happy if he played football and become a professional footballer. I would be the happiest father. But if he does not and becomes a tennis player, even then also I'll be very happy. But I would be very happy he has to play sport, some kind of sports.
So, if he wasn't into sports, that would
That would not. I would. It's not that I would be very upset with him, but as a sports person, obviously you would like your son to be a sports person. Despite whatever sport you play, I would be a happier father. But that doesn't mean that if he doesn't play, that I would be not a good father or not a happy father. I'll still be happy, but something which you always want. Your son at least picks up some sport. Not even son, even my two daughters as well. I hope they become a sports person and they want to play football for Indian women's team. So that's something which I would be very happy with.
Okay, so we're setting the record straight for the second time. Any sports, it doesn't matter which, but as long as it's sports, he'll be very happy. Alright, so we're going to go for a short tea break right now and be back because we have so many more questions coming in and so many more tweets. So continue sending in your tweets right here and we'll get him to answer everything. It's very good. What do you think?
But Jain will like it.
You're a tea person?
Not so much, but coming from Sikkim and hills, we tend to drink tea a bit more.
How many times a day?
At least 4 times, I guess. Like.
You can continue sending in your tweets. In fact, I can see all the questions that are coming in. Please feel free to send in as many more as you possibly can. I don't think we'll get this chance again. And yes, of course, tell people that you're watching this live so that more people can watch it and they believe you that you're actually watching this conversation live and getting your questions answered by the legendary Indian footballer himself. going live in another 5 minutes. I hope you've sent in your tweets. I can see some coming in. And I've also got more questions and people saying I love him for how he's so calm, for how he can be so shy. You can send in whatever you feel about the chat, some more questions that you want him to answer, whatever it is, I can see them coming in. So keep it coming in. And we're back after a short tea break. Now we're getting back to some more questions. Wow, and people are even interacting with us while the conversation was happening. So, sir, the next question from Reshmi Mukherjee. You refused to carry the Olympic torch. How tough was that decision on your part?
In a way, it was a bit tough because I think Olympic torch is something which Indian Olympic Association, you know, request the athletes to carry the torch and run it. So, and in a way, it wasn't very difficult decision as well because I had a lot of friends and family who are Tibetans and the kind of injustice I think which they have been going through. So I felt that it wasn't nice for me as well. It was something which was very close to me, and somebody, if anybody who was there who really inspired me and who inspires me throughout my life is His Holiness the Dalai Lama as well. So that's the reason why I thought I'll just boycott and not carry the torch because I really felt the cause which is very close to me, and that was the reason why I didn't carry it.
From Rohan Bajaj 2008. Who is your celebrity crush? Please don't ignore, there must be at least one of them.
It keeps changing actually.
Currently?
As a kid, I think I'll tell you. There's this actress, old with Rajesh Khanna, she acted Mumtaz. Was a big crush. So that's how as a kid I think Mumtaz is the biggest crush.
Currently,
Currently, I don't think I've got the privilege to get crush to have a crush on some heroine because I think I'm really too old for that now.
I don't think you ever get old for that, but all right,
But
moving
if I
on.
do also, I'll have to keep it secretly. So
Okay, yeah, we know who's watching this. Okay. The next one again is from Rohan Bajaj 2008. What do you generally like to watch on TV? Apart from football matches that are happening.
you'll be actually shocked. I watch lot of news. So I flip channels. So I follow a lot of news. Yeah, I think mostly.
Mostly news.
Apart from sports, if you ask me.
Okay. From Madly Reshmi. Want to know any frustrating event as the captain in the SAFF Championship 2005?
From she's asking from the that particular 2005 thing. No? Now first I need to try and recollect where was the 2005 SAF Cup, but I can't remember exactly which SAF Cup was it. But if there's one SAF Cup which I really regret and which I felt that should have done well was or should have won was the one in Maldives which we played and the finals was played in Sri Lanka, which we lost to Maldives by one goal towards the dying end. So I was captaining that, and I think that was my last SAF Cup, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, that was one tournament SAF Cup which I regret quite a lot.
Any other instance during your captaincy that you found very frustrating?
I don't think as such, but no, I've had, in fact, I've been very lucky during my captainship. Kind of coaches I've worked with because everybody's been very nice and very supportive, and the kind of players I had with me who were playing under my captainship, they were very supportive and they were very great guys. So I didn't face so much of challenges, but yes. As a captain, there are challenges when you have to really stand up for your players, and there were moments where I, as a captain and as a team, stood out for a few players when there were some issues here and there. So I think that makes a very important. That makes it very important as a leader that you stand by your players, and at the same time not just you alone but rest of the teammates also come together and stand by your teammates. So those are the kind of unity, the kind of friendship you need to develop and get the trust of the players if you really want to lead a team.
So while we're on this topic of the SAF tournament, so in that championship, India beat Bangladesh in finals.
Oh,
And you
then I
were
don't think I would have any regrets if we win
you
the
were
final.
you were awarded player of the tournament.
So I don't think, yeah, I think I would definitely not have. I don't have any regrets of the tournament. But the great thing was the tournament was played in Pakistan, and I was the captain in that. And I was just coming back from a serious injury, and I was really getting back because after injury, I think you tend to take time. So it was very important because people, when you come back from injury, people tend to judge you how good you can become, or is it really now going to fade out because of the injury. So it was important that it brought me back, and we won the championship. I won the most valuable player as well, and that too in Pakistan. So, and that moment there was some difficult period in my life, which with this tournament I think it answered everything. So for footballers or for a sports person, I think their performance really does all the talking. So this did for me.
Okay, I have another one from Rohan Bajaj 2009. What are the pros and cons of being a celebrity?
I, best thing is a lot of times when you want your work to be done and people notice you and it gets done fast. That's the best thing. And the worst thing is, you know, you don't want to be because for me, I don't like to be noticed or I don't like to be,
In the
people coming.
limelight.
It's not just I don't like it. It's more embarrassing for me when people come to for an autograph in the airport or where in the town or something. So it's more of embarrassment for me. So I don't like those situations. But yeah, I think with everything in life there are good and bad stuff in which I take it.
Okay, the same person has another question. Um, I know you are good at acting too. Speak out any of your favorite dialogues, please.
I wish I'd acted in any movie and he knew that. I don't know how he knows that I'm good in acting
I
because
don't know either.
even even from school play, when I was in school play for just 2 seconds, I had a role for at least three, not 2 seconds, it was really this one, but at least for I think 5 seconds. Even that role, I was chucked out after two three training when they said you can't do it. So really bad in acting. But the famous dialogue, I think the entire world not the entire world, entire India would know is "Kitne aadmi the." I think that will always remain the
Don't say
favorite.
that with a smile. Say it
No, I can't say it.
say it with some anger.
I wish I could say it
One more time.
with anger.
With little more sternness.
For me, I would like to change it. I said, "Kitne goal diye." That'll be a better.
True to a footballer spirit. Alright. Wow. And these questions are still coming in. It's one of the questions that just came in. So I have another one from Anup Shanbag. So do you feel proud or sad when someone addresses you as the only Indian football star?
Uh, Frankly speaking, yes, and again no as well. Because now when I was playing, I was very happy to be known as the only. I obviously you want to be the best and you want to be. But in football, it's very unfair to say a particular player is the best because it's a team game. So you can't really decide this player is best. It all depends on the team. But yes, it's always nice to say that the best player. When people say it, you feel nice. But now when you look back, it's when now I've retired, I'm still not completely retired as such, but now during this when you're not playing, you'd want to see a lot of stars because I I have my own football schools, Vaishnav football schools, and today you go to any of my centers and I interact with my kids who are playing football, and I say who's your role model, which player would you want to be, and 99% people their kids are all Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi. So it's something which is not good. It's good at the same time. It's not good for Indian football. I think that's the reason why I feel that we need I leagues, produce more superstars, or maybe a new tournament, IMG Reliance Cup, which is coming up, the new tournament. Hopefully, would produce a lot of superstars out of the matches because unless and until we don't have more superstars, kids in India don't get opportunity to look up to Indian footballers, then it becomes extremely challenging for people like us who are trying to encourage grassroots football to come in, and make the kids football their career. It becomes very very challenging. So we need superstars, and I think IMG Reliance new tournament IPL. I am hoping that would produce some Indian superstars out of that tournament.
So you touched upon two topics that I was going to bring up later on. So one, of course, was what is your take on the I League and the football Premier League that's going to be happening? So that was the first thing. So what are your thoughts on that?
Um, I think I League is something which is very very important, and I hope I League can really grow and become one of big league. But right now, for the last few years, it's been in a very difficult situation, and I own a football club and I played I League as well. So how the time when it started was massive. It was really big. It made huge impact. Everybody followed it. But down the years, last 10 years, it's
Died
not
out.
been able to reach. It's not been able to stay how it started. So it's really died out, and it's been it's been struggling a lot. So clubs like Mahindra United, JCT, which were the biggest clubs, shut down because football did not. So I think it's important that we have to revive somehow or the other. Till the time it does not get revived or it does not get that kind of mileage and that kind of fan following coming back to the stadiums, I think a new format of the tournament and IPL kind is something which is very important because it most probably it might bring back the crowd to the stadium. It'll bring in good quality players. I hope they can get some good quality players from abroad to come and at least play with our local Indian players and market it in such a good way that people are watching and following it, and new investors, new sponsors can come into the game of football. So that way, I think somehow this success could also go into I League, and clubs like United Sikkim down the line would get huge big corporate sponsor, and and our dream is to become one of the best football club in India, and that can only uh, can be achieved once I League becomes bigger and we have more investors, more sponsors coming into clubs. So I think for me, I think both are important, but for me, I own a I League football club. IMG Lions is a great tournament to come in. Hopefully, that somehow through that indirectly, I think people start investing, and hopefully they start investing in United City Football Club. And I'll make sure that if the investment comes in, we are going to be the best football club in India for sure.
What do you think about Sunil Chetri as taking forward your legacy?
I think he's a great footballer, and for me, I've enjoyed my best results in my career as a footballer has come towards the end of my career, because there have been two factors. One major factor has been we had a wonderful coach in Bob Houghton, and other second factor is also I think Sunil Chetri and me, we combined really well. I've really enjoyed playing with him on the ground when we playing together. I think not just about football, but you just tend to enjoy a lot, and just playing with him and being on the field with him together as a same striking partner, you tend to really enjoy a lot. And I think Sunil Chetri is one guy who's very sincere, very hardworking and dedicated guy, and he's one true professional, which I think a lot of youngsters can actually now in Indian team can actually look at him and learn from his the kind of professional person what he is.
Okay, so that question came in from Raj. I have another one. What's your favorite song? Please hum some lines for us. This comes in from Kiran.
What's my favorite song? Again, I listen to a lot of music. It all depends on the mood. So I don't know which is my
Right
favorite.
now?
See, if I had one, I would have told you instantly, because I don't think I have one particular favorite song, so it's difficult for me to really recollect. So singing, obviously no chance, because I definitely can't sing.
What kind of music do you enjoy? Bollywood?
I listen to a lot of Bollywood as well. I obviously listen to a lot of even Western music, but I actually grew up listening to a lot of ghazals as well. You won't believe, on a radio, because as a kid we had this radio and we used to tune into All India Radio and all that. So a lot of ghazals used to come. So I used to enjoy a lot of Pankaj Udas CDs. In fact, as a kid, I bought a lot of one or two Pankaj Udas CDs to just listen to it. So I think all form of music is what I really enjoy, depending on the mood. Yeah.
Okay. I have another one from Madly Reshmi. What's your recipe to maintain balance between a busy and hectic professional life and your personal life?
Right now, I would say I've not been able to do that well. So I'm totally a wrong person to advise you on that, because if I've been able to manage it, it wouldn't be. So I'm struggling because I've just left my professional life, and as a footballer, I've just retired. Not retired as such, but I'm getting to more of corporate world of running my own football schools, running football club, starting my own fitness center. So trying to balance that, obviously I've not been able to do as much as I wanted to do. I've been traveling a lot as well. So that's the reason why my wife is not at all happy every time I pick up a bag and move out of the house. So that
She's
shows
not
that
happy at the moment.
that shows that I've not been able to balance well. But I think I will get well much better in times.
We wish you luck for that. So my
Thank you.
next question is that, so how did you manage to propose her? Since it was a love marriage.
No, I don't know. There was nothing like going down on knees and proposing to her, because we dated for 6-7 years before we got married. So that's how it started. So marriage proposal wasn't something like we go down on knees, because we slowly over the years we knew that we'd get married, and yeah, we just used to discuss it towards the end part of our means towards fifth sixth year. We thought that obviously we both knew that we were going to get married. So we're just waiting for the right time with my footballing break to happen, because I had actually postponed two weddings before because of football commitments. So third time was something which she said, this time or never. So then
So
I
she had
had
to threaten you into marriage.
yeah.
Okay, so this question had come in from I Ankita Dhawan. And for those of us who don't know, her name is Madhuri Ji. We call her Madhuri Ji. I have another question from Titas. So why aren't you active on social media sites like FB and Twitter? Tons of your fans would be inspired by you.
First thing, I think through this medium, I would like to inform everybody that I don't have a Twitter account. So there are few fake ones. Please don't believe them, because even in Facebook as well, there are plenty of fake Facebook account of mine. I have one which I don't use so much because I'm really bad with I would say bad. I'm more mostly I think mostly lazy in really typing and writing that stuff. But I think I will start getting used to it. Facebook I do use, but I'm not so active on Facebook as well. Twitter, I've never been a fan of it because I feel that I don't know. I'm not. I don't like to. I like. There are a lot of things which I feel are personal thing which you want to keep it within you and your family and friends. Which I might be wrong. There are friends who are like, today they are in some hospital, tomorrow they're in some airport, they're updating every time I'm here in hospital, I'm in the airport, I'm in this hotel, I'm in it. So, which is nice. I do, in fact, I won't say that I don't like it. I keep again seeing where is this guy, where so, but when it comes to me, I don't like to update. I'm like, I'm in Bangalore today, I don't like to update in Twitter or Facebook or anywhere saying that I'm in Bangalore. But my friends, just not Bangalore, but they'll even tell you that I'm inside Manipal Global Institution right now, chatting. Even that they update. So some people I think enjoy that, and but again, people are different. So I tend to not be so open about my life. So I think that's the reason.
But as of now, the entire world knows that you're sitting here with us and
Right now,
chatting.
yes, yes.
Okay, we really hope you do get active. I'm sure a lot of people are waiting for that. As for you not liking Twitter, we're going to have to make an exception for today because we'll have to reply to
It's
all
not that I
these.
don't like it, but I think I feel I don't know. I feel that there'll be a lot of personal things which they would want to know. There's that, and and I don't know if I'm really open to that. What? But when it comes to football and all that, I would love people to ask, and I would want to reply and I want to share my views. But I think Twitter does. Once you open up yourself to the world, then every people have the right to ask you what they want to know as well, and a lot of things which you might not like to share and all that, and they might get offended on that. So maybe because of that, but I think I'll have to also try and change myself.
But for today, we definitely have to reply back. We'll get to that in a bit. So the next one comes in from Titas. What is the biggest compliment you've received from a fellow footballer?
uh, I don't know biggest, but I think a lot of times my colleagues and my friends say that we've really enjoyed playing under your leadership. I think that's been the biggest compliment which as a captain I've received and as a player. And I think that's the reason why also from 99 till 2011, almost 11 years I captained it, because I think players did enjoy and players were really nice and very supportive. So the biggest thing a young player or a friend who's played with me says that we really enjoy playing under you on and off the field. So that's the biggest compliment.
Another one from the same person. If you had to credit one person for the awards, the Arjuna Award and the Padma Shri Award, who would it be?
If I have to credit,
One person for the awards.
I think it would be very unfair to say this person has contributed so much in my life because I got this award. I think it's completely rubbish. I think it's completely this award goes from the day I started playing football as a professional. All my teammates have contributed as much, because I think without their contribution, teammates and the coaches would work with. So I think it's because football is a team game and you can only succeed because if your team does well. And I think the contribution of all my colleagues and the coaches I've worked with I think is the
Okay.
reason why I've got all these awards.
So I have another one here from Madly Reshmi. In your entire life, is there a particular incident that inspired you to be so charitable and friendly?
I come from a place called Tingitam, which is very, very remote in Sikkim. And till even 5 years back, till the time I got married in 2004, we didn't even have roads down reaching till my house. So, and still the roads are still, are not those roads which are carpeted. So I think coming from that place and having grown up in a small village, though I went into boarding school, but every time I came back, you can see the lifestyle, and you can see the village people. So I think that's because also because my parents were head of the village, and we came from more of a landlord kind of thing, and they did a lot of work with the villagers, charitable thing, which they supported a lot of villagers in their own village, in our own village. So I think from there where you grow up, you start seeing that and you start getting connected to it. So you feel always, as a kid, you have that connection. So every time when you are in a position to help somebody, or when you can help, is something which I personally would always, try and be try and help whoever whom I can. And now it makes it easier because with my own football club, and I've got friends who are running there. I've got Sherab Lepcha and Arjun Rai who started Foot United Sikkim, and I think these guys are also they come from similar background from remote places, and I think because of them as well, we try and do a lot of social work. Apart from running a football club and giving opportunities to a lot of young players, we also make sure that the kids in remote villages get that opportunity as well. So I think even also because you have that kind of friends who would always want to help others, that makes you help more.
That's great. Your helping spirit is just great. So, what are your contributions towards the football scene in India so that it reaches greater heights?
See, the things which I could not get it, I would want not some other kids not to should not be deprived of that. That's the reason why I started Baichung Bhatia Football School. But my biggest aim in future is to start football academies. Football school is another thing, but academies are more of serious stuff. So one step ahead, after football schools, you climb up the ladder, then comes football academy. And I would want to set up a football academy, just not one, maybe few of them in different parts of the country, which would be the, you know, which would be the centers that would produce footballers for the clubs and for the country. And that's a dream where I would want to see that all talented footballers get the right kind of training, right kind of support, right kind of guidance to become professional football player. And that's the reason why my dream is to set up a great academy. So hopefully I can one day at least to start off with one, and then future if my time and my support staff and all that, if I can organize that, then start in different places in different parts of the country.
A lot of people have their prayers with you because I'm sure a lot of people are looking forward to such initiatives. Now, Puneet has a question. So, what lessons in life and leadership has football taught you?
I think in football, in terms of the biggest learning experience, what I've really learned in football is to be as a team. Because when you lose as a team. All your friends, teammates. When you win as a team. And you've got to stick by around as a teammates and or as a friends. And during difficult and good times, they're the ones who's going to be obviously apart from your family members as well. But football has taught you how to how to win the trust, how to really be faithful friend and be there during good and bad times, and that's how I think you start achieving much more. So I think that's the lesson which I learned is that just friends, but always make sure that you're there in through thick and thin times.
Okay, now your message for the Manipal fraternity, for the students of Manipal.
What message should I think they should. Obviously, they've come here, Manipal Global, whoever is doing the studies, they're doing it for to achieve something, to get their MBA degrees or any other degrees. But I strongly feel in India, I think you should not just get degree just because you want to get a job, but you need to get a degree because you really love that job. So don't be a doctorate or an engineer just to get and marry a rich girl or something like that. But you need to really get a degree because you really love it and want to do something with that. And I think that's the most important thing, because from my own experience, I think in India, there are a lot of people and whom I know, my friends as well, are working in departments in Sikkim which they're not at all happy with. But because they have no option, they're getting a salary, they're getting a job, so they're doing the job. But then it does not benefit the society because you can't give 100% and you can't really do it. So you should not just become teacher because you don't have any other job, but you have to earn and you need to keep your parents happy and you need to get married. You've got to get a job. So I think it's very wrong that way, and that's why I think a lot of people in government offices don't tend to work because they actually don't tend to enjoy working because they're working in a wrong job which they would obviously would want to be doing different. So enjoy. You've got to really pick up and do stuff which you really feel that you want to do.
That's pretty insightful. So, for now, we have with us an alumni Chennai from Sikkim Manipal University, the distance education. His name is Ram and he works for Dell.
Uh, so the first time I saw you was like you had done an ad for Swatch.
Okay.
I think like
Yes,
something
yes,
like a
for
basketball,
Swatch.
playing football in terms of basketball. So my question here is like, in India, how famous is cricket? Where everybody knows that cricket is a game, everybody loves it. But whereas the football is at the last leg where nobody is even bothered to concentrate, or even when they're in school or college, that much importance is not given. So if you see the I League started recently, and some amount of attention is given to that. What do you think can make the game football very famous in India and more priority is given compared to football?
See, I think for football to really become famous and grow, the most important thing is for the national team to do well. You've got to start winning international tournaments. Unless you don't do that, people don't connect with you. And people don't tend to watch somebody who's always losing. And how do you get that results is obviously you've got to start producing players, because only if you start producing players, then you'd get quality players that go on to play international tournament and give you results. So international tournaments, the results for the national team are the key factor for football to grow. And for that to happen, I think we need to start having a great foundation, great youth development program to produce that quality players to give us that result. And that's the reason why I think in India we need to come all together, because whenever there is national camp, whenever there's a call for an international tournament, clubs tend to not release players, clubs tend to make fuss about it. Until and unless we don't start supporting our national team and making a priority that the national team is the most important thing, I think football is definitely going to struggle. So we start winning, and we start winning gold medal in Asian Games, qualifying for the Asia Cup, which we did after 26 years, last 3-4 years back, and then start qualifying for the World Cup. People don't tend to get associated. And cricket is basically does well is because every time they're playing, if they lose today, they're playing tomorrow, and they're also top teams in the world. Though it might be played by just 8 or 9 countries, but still India is one of the top cricketing nation. And people identify with your wins, and you feel very patriotic when Indian cricket team wins. So same thing with other sports also we need to do it. For that, I think unless and until we don't really invest in youth development, it becomes absolutely difficult. So it's up to the clubs, state association, district people who are involved with football to have full commitment. A lot of people are there in associations and district football and other places as well, just for being there and running it. They don't really want to invest and see that how we can get this game going, which is very very unfortunate.
And don't you think so, like, corporate companies, MNCs who are in India, who can help in terms of promoting the game as well? Like, say if you see, in general, if I'm in my company, everybody is following EPL or Champions League very religiously and they have their own favorites. But at the same time, in corporate companies, they start promoting the game in India with some kind of sponsors. Maybe like, they can promote their brand at the same time, and also they promote the game, which will take to the next level, higher level.
I wish you are one of the CEOs in
I wish I could.
multinational company and you would come in, but sadly they don't think so.
Okay.
So it's obviously very very important if you have a corporate support. The game would definitely pick up so much, because money is not everything, but money is also one of the most important factors, because money can bring you great training facilities, money can bring you coaches, money can send the kid abroad to get trained. So it plays a major role in terms of if you have good finances. So it's important that the corporates do invest, but sadly I think they also look at what returns they get out of the sport. So that way football has not been able to manage that. So we struggle in that way. Today I have United Sikkim Football Club, which is one of the biggest club in Northeast, and I go for sponsors, and all the MNC don't come forward because they don't have big visibility in Sikkim. But then there are a lot of hydropower projects that are in Sikkim. If you go to hydropower projects, they only say is that you'll have to come through the government, because these guys want to keep the government happy. So they don't come and really support in what you're doing is a good cause. They know that it's a great thing you're doing. They'll tell you that it's a great thing, it's wonderful. But when it comes to giving checks, writing down the checks, they will say, "Can you come through the government?" So that they want to keep the government happy rather than developing the sport. So these are the facts that happens in India, and we can't. I hope it changes. Multinational companies or any other corporate houses come forward and support all sorts of sports apart from cricket. Then I think sports in India is definitely going to grow.
And also, you think the governing body, in terms of currently, if you see, most of the people who are in that are above the age of 40 or 50, and mostly some of them they don't even have the idea of what the game is. So, don't you think that also has to evolve to make the game better?
Definitely, yes. I think especially if you're above 75, I think then I don't think you can have really big impact, or maybe above 80 you can have really big impact, really change the game. So we would really be happy that if you cross 80 and people still stick to sports federation, they can politically, I don't know, they can still be, but sports thing, I think you really need to get you really need to get updated. You really need to keep taking decisions, keep moving ahead, and keep competing so that your country is better than the other country in terms of playing. So I think we need, obviously, there is a law that I think a lot of sports person is trying to pass, that retirement age, a 3-term office. So all this thing, if it comes into force, then I think it's going to be
Especially people like you who have played the game, and if you come into the governing body, or at least in terms of managing the things, we can see a better results. Whereas people, that is what we.
I tell you, I can also assure you, I think there are a lot of sports person who can come into state association and do great job, but I can assure you that even state association has got their own political thing going, and it's an honorary job even in state association, in federation, but still being an honorary, if you want to go and contribute, they still don't let you come in because of their own position. So I think, which is very, very sad, because people here in India, basically in terms of sports, anything, everybody is looking into their own benefit rather than looking at benefit of the game. So that changes, I think, will happen in time, but till then I think we will struggle.
Okay, sure. Thank you so much. It was nice speaking to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
There you go. The signature.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You want to hold the, yeah. Thank you.
Thanks.
And I'm back. I'm back with some more tweets. So I have another one which says, which is your favorite football club, and which is the club you always wanted to play for?
My favorite football club is United Sikkim FC, but obviously the club which I support in England is Arsenal, which I enjoy the game, and also I like Bayern Munich. So there's a few clubs which I really love watching, but my favorite football club is United Sikkim FC.
Any favorite players in the team?
In United Sikkim, a lot of them. I think all the players, they're signed, they're young, they're all local. Mostly this year we've got mostly local players. I've got very young players as well there. So it's very difficult to say this player is good, that player is good, but I've got 20-25 players. I think that all of them are equally talented. Given the right platform, right opportunity, I think these guys will go on to become good players.
Alright, so I have another alumni from the Sikkim Manipal University. His name is Sadashiv Murthy, and he works with Tesco. Oh, he's gonna make you do a task. I hope you're up for it.
Task, I don't know, it all depends what
Let's see what he's gonna make you do.
Please.
Sir, first of all, I'm feeling very proud to sitting next to you and practicing you. For example, I'm a very great fan of football. So, for my request, can you
Oh, the spin thing, I'm really bad with spin, so let me still try.
Yeah.
Even 2 seconds, if I can do, it's a good achievement for me. I'm bad with that. I think you'd be better than me in that. For sure.
Sir, actually, I have a personal question which I had. Um, of course, everybody will be having their own set of goals, and my question for you is, if you have some certain goals, when we have already some personal financial commitment, and how do you reach the goals, and what are the best advice for you?
See, I think goals are, for me, I think it's very, very important because you set a target and you want to achieve that goal, and that's something which could be a big goal or a small goal, but I think you always need to have a goal in life so that you strive and you work for it. So, and how do you achieve it? Obviously, once you set a goal, then I think that goal you tend to really work for it because if you don't have a goal, then you're working where to go for. So if you set a goal and set a target, then you know I'm going to this, I want to reach that place, and you start working. But that's where I feel that if you don't have a target and set anything, then you just tend to work, 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 and then one finally is I've been working so hard, okay, I've reached somewhere, but where do I want to go? So I think that's where to set a target and to set that I want to reach somewhere in 5 years time is something which I strongly feel that you've got to have it. Whether you achieve it or not, you'll at least give it a sincere effort and sincere try, and say that if you don't achieve it as well, then you've given your best shot. So I think that's what I tend to follow.
You're already a very famous football player, and you have to travel around the world, and as well as you cannot ignore your family also. So how do you balance both personal life as well as your football life?
I think first thing is I have a wife and kids. First thing is you need to make sure that your wife is a very understanding person. So which I think she is. Obviously, she's not too happy as well because I keep traveling. But once you get into a relation, once you get married, I think anybody should if my wife knew it that what she was getting into it when she married me because I will be playing, I will be traveling across, and that's where sacrifices come in, and that's where she has to adjust to it. So it's kind of a difficult thing which I've just realized now because after football as well, it becomes extremely difficult to really give so much time. But I think you need to really somewhere down the line cut down the amount of time you want to travel, the amount of time you want to be with the family. So you can't only think work, 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 which right now actually for me it's been like that because I'm just I'm just moving to new phase of my life, so I can't really compromise on saying that I want to be with family and not do this work. So right now there is pressure because it's a new phase of my life where I have to do this to set my new beginning, new life to start. So I've not been able to commit and adjust so much with my family, but I think that's where she understands that. So once you're set and you're okay with it, then I'm sure that you tend to say okay, you can adjust and during that period.
So previously, nobody has craze about football, and everybody would very crazy about cricket. And what are the other activities to make people very crazy about football?
I think football that way is really picked up now in terms of craze. It might lot to do is got to do with is also the European football that we keep watching on TV every weekend. Now even weekdays Champions League. So the popularity and the craze has really gone up, and I think compared to 5 years back and now the amount of kids playing football it's much more than what it is, but still I think yeah the training setup and the development setup is still not there as what we want. But I think the craze are those have been the craze, and obviously the bigger craze would be once the national team starts doing well and qualifying for tournaments like Asia Cup or the World Cup, then I think that's where the craze starts building.
Now we started playing football every week. We used to play football every Thursday from our office. So, what is the best advice for me to become a best football player?
I don't know, in terms of career, if you're looking right now, I think it's a little too late. So I would advise you to focus on Tesco where you're working so that you don't bunk and keep going and playing football. So you lose there, you lose here as well. But I think for you guys to still play and keep active is very, very important because you guys are working, you guys are a professional now. And for you all to play and motivate is something which your kid or your somebody in your area would get inspired to because you played football and you talk about football, then you're surrounding with your friend circle as well. You talk, you'll always discuss football. So that entire thing would really just make sure that that environment, you create that environment, and whoever is around you might not know you, but if they hear you guys talking football, somebody else who's just listening, some kid who's just listening to your conversation gets inspired because people are talking football and they want to be playing that sport because people are talking about it. So if they hear more about that sport, they see more about that sport. I think that's how you start getting inspired. Because I love the sport, but I also wanted to become a footballer because in my town, in my villages, wherever there was football tournament, there used to be massive gathering. So I always wanted to play in that 10,000 packed stadium. I always wanted to be wherever I went. My elder brothers and all used to be talking about football. How they played this match, that played. So you get so excited as a kid. So I think for you all, to keep playing and to keep staying fit. If you can also, it's not that because now you can't become a professional footballer, you give up. But if you still play and just motivate somebody else, your son or your daughter to become a footballer, I think that's something which you might not have achieved, but I'm sure your son might get motivated and inspired by your footballing knowledge and ideas. You pass it on to him or her, so you might just pick up and become a good footballer. So
Thank you so much for your advice.
thank you so much.
I have a
Yes. Sign it here then.
yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Want to pose for the camera?
Sit, no, I think-
Just hold the t-shirt and show.
Sit.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Okay, and I'm back with yet another tweet. This is from Online Snake, and she wants to know that most sports stars have superstitions. Do you have any such superstition? Something that you do before you go out for a match?
I never had any particular superstition, but sometimes you tend to remember that if you had really a great game, the next match you tend to try and do the same stuff what you did. Like tying your shoes or which boot to wear first. So those kind of thing you tend to follow.
You follow such stuff?
If I've had a great match, then I automatically next game I try and follow what I did the previous match, try and do the same stuff.
Yes, so I will put an end to all of these tweet questions, but I need you to reply back to 5 of them, and then we should give them signed t-shirts.
Okay.
So this is on Twitter. Okay, so since you're new to Twitter, I'll explain to you how it works. Okay, so that is the question that's come in
Okay.
from that person's called Mahesh Parate. So that's his question. You can reply to him, and we'll sign a t-shirt for him.
Okay. So
Alright?
you want me to write it now
Yes.
or do I reply?
And you can sign it saying you've replied it.
What's the
Go to
question?
reply. You have a huge fan following. My question is, will you ever enter politics? See it? You want me to type it?
Yeah, I
Then you
think
can
so,
answer.
yeah.
Yes, tell me.
Uh, I don't see at the moment. I've never thought of getting into politics, but looking at it, I think a lot of sports person or of movie stars are. I don't know. It's my opinion. Do enter because also out of frustration, because you want to get things done. For me, like football, I want to get a lot of things done. But if I can't get it done, being a Baichung Bhutia and trying, working and trying to promote, and there are a lot of obstacles because you need to have certain kind of ways to go. Then maybe if it's not happening, then if it's the only way you can achieve things in India is by being a politician, then maybe down the years, maybe yes. But right now, obviously, my priority is just focus on football, work for the game, and work work for it. But if things don't happen and you've got to get anything done only through politics, then maybe you'll have to get into politics to get it done.
Okay, done. That's your reply. Okay, we should let them know that it was you who did it. Replied.
Yes.
So we put
Yes.
yeah. All right. Okay, moving on. This is the first one. So do you want to sign a T-shirt for Mahesh?
I'll sign it all together once you finish.
All
this
right.
one.
Okay. So we have Mahesh. Then we have. Okay. So we have our regular question. Okay, they've been coming in.
Yes.
So we have Anup. We have Anuj. Okay. What?
So which other question have you picked it up?
So, were you ever contacted by fixers, national or international level?
Not exactly, and also at the same time, yes, I would say, but in locally, I've heard a lot in Calcutta because a lot of these matches in local leagues have been fixed, and you keep reading and hearing about it in the local league, and that those days until today, the local league is quite big. But I personally have never experienced that. But a lot of the people, media, to friends, also colleagues say that there have been a lot of matches that's been fixed and they win it. So I personally have not seen that. But yes, I think there are fixers that is involved even in India as well, and but not with I won't say with the I-League matches, but maybe smaller tournaments.
Oh, so we've posted your reply.
Yes.
Alright, okay. Now I want to thank you. Being a shy person, being an introvert, to actually speaking. We've spoken for what, almost close to 2 hours, maybe
Oh,
more.
yeah.
Time just went. So thank you so much for taking this time out. And one last nugget of wisdom that you would want to give out to the budding youth of today who probably want to be the next Baichung Bhutia.
I think you've got to play football to become yourself. Don't play because you want to become Baichung and you want to, earn money or Sachin Tendulkar. But I think you need to really love the sport you play. You need to really love football if you want to become a successful footballer. You don't play football to become Baichung or whatever. I think you need to really love the game, and then you tend to everything follows after that.
You heard that from the man himself. So go practice this lesson and go do your homework. Thank you so much.
Thank you.